So, hey, we're back, y'all. You guys, want to ask you a question. I am here to ask a question today and for you to think about and think deeply about, because it matters. And some of us are struggling with things in our life, and it's all because of maybe this one question. And the question is, who are you? If I ask you, who are you, what would you tell me? Would you know who you are? Would you tell me all the things that you do, and maybe what your goals in life are? And just think about it for a second, because if you already have in your mind, and I hope that some things are running through your mind right now, then I'm going to give you like a second to think about it. Okay, that was a couple of seconds. So if you were telling me the things that's around you and who makes you who you are, and if you think about it this way, and if you think, well, if all of that is stripped away, and you have none of that. You don't have your job, who you identify yourself with. You don't have your spouse, who you identify yourself with. You don't have your children. I know parents who they'll say who they are, and then they say, oh, I'm such and such as mom, or I'm such and such as wife or husband or whatever. But if you couldn't say that and somebody asked, who are you? What would you say? That is like an awesome question. And, I think we ask ourselves that sometimes, like we define ourselves by things and maybe what we've thought maybe we were. So sometimes to know who we really are, we have to strip everything away but what really, really matters in life. And, I'm going to say Jesus, because without him, we are nothing. And we're not, won't ever be anything. Even maybe what the world says, this is a good thing or whatever. You're not going to be your fullest. You're not going to ever be satisfied till you really know who you are. Because things can be taken. Jobs can be taken. And if you think about that, money can be taken. A lot of things can be taken. And when you do not know who you are, we don't feel secure. And if you know who you are, then you're going to know that you're secure. You're going to know. You're going to have a sense of peace about yourself. Now, I've heard sermons and I've heard other people talk about this, and I want to encourage you. There's a great movie out there that is called Overcomer. If you haven't seen it yet, you need to get it. It's out on DVD now, and maybe some stations, local stations, are even playing it now. But it's wonderful because it really makes you question who you are. Back last year, I had I can't tell you if it was a dream or a vision. All I know was it was so real. And I just immediately woke up after, and it was like this short little interruption of another dream. And that's how I knew. I was like, it was just so profound and so real. And, I know who I am, or thought and I will tell you, I'm a Christian, I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever. But in this dream or vision last year, so what this dream was about was this elderly lady approached me, and I was sitting, and she said to me, she said, "Who are you?" And just immediately out of my mouth, I said, "I'm a daughter of the Most High God." And she puts a ring on my finger, and the vision, dream, what it ends. And I immediately, like, it was just so real. I like jumped up, like, what was that? Yeah, because, you know, when those things come, like, I'm understanding dreams and visions a little more than what I used to, because maybe I need them now. I don't know. But normally, if you ask me who I am, you know, I will probably name off some of my family, or who I'm married to, or what I've done or do, or what I would probably in the past have named that off. And I thought it was so interesting that we have this I thought it was, the interesting thing I thought was, wow, I knew exactly who I was. Like, what better way to describe yourself than I'm a daughter of the Most High King. And so I went the whole next day thinking about that and thought, you know, do you really believe that you are a daughter of the Most High King? And the more I thought about it, and it was just so real, and I realized that God was showing me and telling me who I was in Him. And I, like you, I don't you know, okay, we laugh a lot because my mother, she's always got this thing, says, y'all just got to get it together. Y'all got to get it together. Who really has it together? Not one of us really have it together. We might get it together on one issue and it falls apart on another. And people are that way. We don't always have it together. Folk been trying to line their ducks up in a row for years, and it just they get one set lined up and something else falls apart. But when I realized what the Lord was showing me through that vision was, it brought comfort to me. It brought peace to me. It like settled something that had run in my mind for years and years and years, and it was like my mind was just like back, and like you struggle in who, I think we all go through those times. We struggle, who are we really? And then at the end of this year, we ended up watching the movie Overcomer. And I watched, and then there's a part in there where this very sick gentleman asked this other man, "Well, who are you?" And then he starts telling him, "Well, if all this is stripped away and all that's stripped away, who would you be?" And so the man has to really think about it. And then he comes back and he tells him, "Well, it was asked to this younger girl that's in the movie as well. It was asked to her." If my memory is correct, the gentleman in there that was her coach asked her, am I correct? "Who are you?" And she couldn't answer. She didn't know. She was very confused. And you know, you don't have to be a kid to be that way. We can be older. We can be in our 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s and 80s. Struggling over, like, you go through life and maybe not really feel like you know who you are and what you're really here for. And so the young girl, she comes back, and her principal of her school gives her some scripture, and she says, "Read this." She comes back with a list, and she knew who she was. I got to tell you, it brought tears to my eyes. I was like I get it. I know that. Like, I know who I am. And I could feel what she was feeling, because when I had that vision, it was like, and I told 2 people about this. Well, 4, I'm sorry. I've told my husband, I told my child was there and she was listening, my daughter and our daughter. On good days, she's mine. I'm kidding. But, and then I told my mom, and I told a very dear friend of mine who, she just gets it and understands. And she's very close to me, and I thought, I wonder what she would make of this. Like, because when I first had that, I was like, this vision, I was like, well, why would I have this? But I knew, because I knew it brought comfort and peace to who I knew I really was in Jesus Christ. And I got to tell you, there is nothing else that brings peace like knowing you are a daughter of the Most High God, the Most High King. You are a daughter. And there's only one God, but of the Most High King, you belong to Him. You are a son of the Most High King. And if you know that, you have comfort in Jesus Christ. And you know, no matter what I ask, God's He wants the best for me. He wants the best for you. And He will do. And He does way more than we ask for most times. Sometimes He don't give us what we ask for, but it's because we didn't need it. You know, your kid keeps asking for a lot of chocolate and a lot of candy, and they're going to get really sick, and you know that. So most of us won't give it to them, but some folks say, oh, give it to them, let them try it. When they get sick, they'll know. And God even does us that way sometimes. Sometimes there's things we don't need, but He'll allow us to go through it, have it, get it, whatever, just so we can see, I think I pushed God through His limit, or to His limit, and that's not what I should have done. So my thing is, okay, God, you know what's best for me, so whatever you think is best, then that's what I want. And y'all, that brought peace and comfort. And then when I watched that movie, it was just like assurance that, and I thought, gosh, you know, I should have known. If I had known this years ago, it's like, God, well, you know, we should have brought this vision about years ago, because I'd have been so much more. But you know, God has His perfect timing for everything. And even God gets sick. He gets tired, and He does something about it when Satan beats up on us and confuses us, and we don't know. If you don't know who you really are, you take the time and ask God to show you who you are, who you really are. And that way you don't have doubts, and you don't get confused, and you can stand firm in what you say and what you believe and who you are. And you know what? I'm going to pray that the Holy Spirit will show you what you need to know and who you really are in Jesus Christ. And you be blessed, and know that God is fighting for you. You know that there is a cloud of witnesses that cheers for you when you do something. Like, what greater can we get, y'all? That is something to think about. It's something true, and it's something real. And don't forget it. And y'all, you have a blessed day, and we will talk to you again. We'll be back and bring you hopefully some great and wonderful things that can help you.